Is it time to talk about listener feedback?
Listener feedback? How about that? Do we get listener feedback?
Well,
No, the end.
No, that is not true. We posted our last podcast, number 32, the one about crossover video games. We posted it on YouTube, and we got comments there from people who listened to it and wanted to say things about it.
Finally.
And just a little
it was just
interjection
fake and gay, is what they said.
Sure. Just a little interjection here. When we put our podcasts on YouTube, it's not just the audio, but we also typically have videos of people playing through video games. So doubly entertaining. In this case, it was Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Followed by Tinkle Pit.
Yes.
Wow.
Because the Battletoads playthrough wasn't long enough.
Wow.
But anyway, we did get several comments on the videos. So do we want to talk about them a little bit?
I have them open right here. Let's
Okay.
see.
Well, there was one kind of long one that I thought was most interesting by a YouTube user TKGB2006. The one where you know what I'm talking
Yes.
about, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of long. I don't know if we want to read the whole thing, but he had a lot to say about crossover games there.
Well, apparently he's a big fan of crossover games. He says, now, we were saying how few crossover games there were in the podcast, and he says he has a list of 206 crossover games. I don't know where he's getting these from.
Yeah,
Japan.
he says he was quoting someone from the podcast who said, "So I guess there aren't that many crossover video games." And he opens his letter with, "Ack! I felt ill when I heard that. There are plenty of crossover games. I happen to have a list that is still ongoing that I've compiled of over 206 crossover titles." So he was a little perturbed at our dismissal of the crossover genre.
But also, as we discussed in the previous podcast, our definition of a crossover game does not quite match with his. He sort of, brought into subcategories, but included them all under, quote, crossover games. But he included...
That's true. Yeah, he divided them into 4 separate subcategories called Colliding Worlds, Same Universe, Dream Match, and Cameo.
Yeah, and I think, we were specifically saying, well, cameos don't really count. He was saying...
That's right.
Mario being in Punch-Out and all that. We wouldn't really call that a crossover game just because he's in there, but he includes it in his overarching name for all this. Can't really argue with him, but...
So, wait, hang on a second. So we're basing this podcast segment on the comments of the one YouTube user who actually wanted to say anything and scaring him.
There were actually 2. The other person made a comment about how he wished we would talk about Ace Attorney more. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That would be user Boba Boo.
Yeah, Boba.
Said, "Oh, and I love Ace Attorney, so you could talk about that more."
Toon Link, it's the link they should have stuck with.
Yep.
That was him, not me. I was quoting what he had to say.
Okay. Is that what he put on the last podcast we put up on YouTube? Toon Link is the link they should have stuck with?
Yeah, because someone was talking about how there aren't really any dark characters in Nintendo games, and then they were saying, games like Legend of Zelda are, still, bright and cheery.
Mm-hmm. Especially in that one.
So that's about it. We got one person commenting on Toon Link and also saying that we should talk about Ace Attorney more, and someone else calling us out for our dismissal of the crossover genre. He also later went on to say, "Great podcast, guys, though I wish you spoke more about crossover games, because you kind of drifted off topic for a while."
90% of the podcast.
Yeah, approximately.
So we'll have to see if these people ever leave any comments again, knowing that we're going to bring them up in conversation on podcasts.
Hey, they put them out there on the internet for everyone to read.
Exactly. This is public domain, folks. Read your terms of service.
So if anyone else would like to be made fun of on the GameCola podcast, how could they do that, Jetty?
Well, you see, they could email us at podcast@gamecola.net. Or, if it's easier, they could just comment on the article on GameCola.
Or on the YouTube video if you're watching this on YouTube right now.
If we have it up on YouTube, yes.
We probably will.
Although really, I don't think we made fun of anyone really this time around. We could have.
We could have been worse.
Because that guy is obviously a ladies' man, compiling huge lists
possibly
of...
a lady. We don't. Do we know the gender of this commenter? Or
Well,
we can
his name is TKGB, which sounds like a guy's name to me.
It's the internet. It's a guy.
And yeah, I guess he was born in 2006. Hence the 2006 in his name.
Absolutely.
There, is that?
I'll show you, 4-year-old.
Okay, so you can email us, podcast, post comment, etc. You can also follow GameCola website as a whole at Twitter. We're just at GameCola, and you can also check us out on Facebook. We are also GameCola on Facebook.
You can also lean your head out the window and scream. If we live anywhere near you, we might ignore you.
Additionally, you can, well, you might be doing this already, but you can listen to the podcast on iTunes, and if you're there, please leave us a review. If you like us, that would be cool. Please don't if you don't. Because we don't really want honest feedback, we just want positive feedback.
Stroke our egos.
Are they mutually exclusive, Paul?
They might be. This is perhaps not our best podcast.
I think that should be the title of this podcast. Podcast 33, this is perhaps not our best podcast.
You can also visit our actual website, GameCola.net.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was looking for the GameCola podcast on YouTube, I was too lazy to actually go to the site. I just went to YouTube, and I was like, wait a second. I don't have the link to it. I know. I will search for GameCola podcast on YouTube. And as I began typing, it gave suggested results of GameCola and GameCola.net.
Whoa.
Yeah, we have suggested results on
Wow.
YouTube.
We have arrived.
I mean, I don't know how many people or whatever have to search for that to get it there, but it was there,
That's really exciting.
right? We're popular enough to have a suggested result on YouTube. Internet high five.
Really, I've just been waiting for Speak American to get, like, suggested results from racists telling, like, Hispanics, why'd you speak American? I'm just waiting for that day, and then I'll be so sad I named it that.
And for the uninformed who are confused, Speak American is a video column that Christian Porter does about foreign video games. So there you are. You're informed.
It
Also,
is not
Christian,
racist.
you've been getting some nice comments on our YouTube page lately. People looking forward to the next video.
Oh, really? I saw one or two last time I checked.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Here I am thinking there's this whole long scroll of comments that have come through.
No.
No. Well, that's still very nice. It's nice to be wanted, even if it's by, 1, 2 people. I think we should go through Wikipedia and we should discuss every topic there but 3D games. I would like to do a podcast on Buffalo.
Actually, I was looking at that article, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was looking at it a month ago, and I recently met someone through the internet who has a band who's named their CD that.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's an indie video game developer, actually, so on topic.
Yikes.
That's right.
Very much so.
He sounds amazing.
Wait, did we talk about this previously in the podcast?
Did we? He's the person who's making oh, wait. No, I think this is public information. They're working on a side-scroller for the DS starring Abraham Lincoln.
Awesome.
An actually commercially released one or like a homebrew?
I am pretty sure it's supposed to be a commercial release. They've also done work on the Xbox Live Indie Game Service, which is how I came into contact with them because I wrote a little write-up of their game, Balloon Boy, and he emailed me about it.
Sounds cool to me. I like revisionist history.
I think he was pretty happy about my review too. I don't always get emails from happy developers.
Usually just angry when saying, "Why did Christian Porter trash my game?"
Speaking of which, have you gotten Darkstar to work? How's that happening?
I did. I got it to work on my laptop. I wanted the cinematic experience. I wanted it on my media center, but that just wasn't in the cards. I'm playing through it. It's not bad so far. I don't want to give anything away.
It's a science fiction FMV adventure game. Is that an accurate way to describe that game?
Yep, it's an FMV adventure game starring the original cast of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Nice.
And just came out a few months ago, I believe. We scored a review copy of it.
Yes, we did.
Wow.
Go GameCola. an actual physical review copy. That's right.
Wow.
We usually just get downloads.
It was pretty sweet. There's even a T-shirt that was a little too small for me, but my wife is currently using as a bed shirt.
Perfect. Nice. Yes, I believe that is one of the first hard copy review copies we've gotten since the ill-fated drift racing game that Matt Gardner reviewed in like 2006. That game came with the review copy came with a DVD all about drift racing because neither of us had any clue what drift racing actually was.
It's
So
probably nice that it did.
we didn't give the game a good review, which I believe is why we haven't seen anything since.
Yikes.
It's probably best that it came with that DVD, because if you asked me what drift racing was, I'd be like, I don't know, like with gliders, drifting, I don't know.
Still not actually sure. It is something to do with applying your brake or your hand brake while you're turning your car.
Actually, all I know about drifting is what I've learned from Crazy Taxi. But apparently in Crazy Taxi, it's just any time you drive between cars, that's drifting. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that is.
I don't think that's true at all.
We're an exciting bunch, apparently.
We'll ask Vin Diesel.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, you should feel very special, though, that we were able to get you a physical media there.
I do. I was actually really psyched.
You're in a special club of GameCola writers there.
I would run out onto my front porch. I'd be like, oh, did I get it today? I did.
Nice.
So what were we talking about?
Not 3D games.
Oh, we were talking about other things we can talk about. I have a Choose Your Own Adventure book we can read. That would be fun.
That's like a
I was
game.
gonna say,
No, that's
What about
actually
Choose Your Own
like,
Adventure in 3D?
I had some friends over a few weeks ago, and we couldn't figure out what we wanted to do, so we sat in a circle and took turns reading from Choose Your Own Adventure, voting on where we would go next.
Actually, Choose Your Own Adventure in 3D wouldn't be that far, because most of the FMV games from the 90s were like Choose Your Own Adventures. Put them in 3D, you're done.
I would bet anyone any amount of money that Dragon's Lair is going to end up on the 3DS at some point, because it is on every video game system that has ever been made.
including the DVD player. I have a copy that is made to be played on a DVD player.
That's actually what I have too.
And there's also that 3D game by the people who made Dragon's Lair, Time Traveler.
Oh,
Was that mentioned
Space
already?
Ace.
I don't think so.
Oh, Time Traveler is actually a very good example of a 3D game. It was this experimental thing where it was all done with holograms, and it actually looked pretty cool.
It's an arcade game, I take it?
Yeah, it was an arcade game, and you go in, it was almost like it was like table-sized, but there was a pit inside it that you look into.
Tinkle Pit?
A tinkle pit.
I don't think they should put things in arcades and call them tinkle pits. I'm just going to say that maybe that would have been a bad idea.
But you would look in it, and this like hologram guy would just be roaming around. He'd look like Panama Jack there, just walking around. And I don't know how to play. It played like Dragon's Lair, so that's just to say I had no idea how to play it.
Mm.
But it looked neat.
Yeah. Something I've enjoyed as a special feature of the more recent Dragon's Lair releases is that you can just watch the cartoon without actually playing the game.
Great. I'll just randomly press a button.
That's how I beat Dragon's Lair 2. That's how I beat Dragon's Lair 2, was watching it.
That's great. I'll just like randomly press a button, then I'll be like, yeah, I did it.
I believe that's actually the direction the Wii's been moving in lately, isn't it? There are a few games where you can do exactly that.
Just do whatever you feel like, and you still win.
That's why I like, we've been playing a lot of Kirby's Epic Yarn, and there's no way to die in that game. I think we talked about this a few podcasts ago.
Oh, really?
Mike Ridgway was playing. Yeah, I mean, you can die, but you don't have any lives. There's no life counter at all. So, like, you can, fall off the screen into a bottomless pit of death, and then you'll just kind of float right back up with angel wings and then appear back in the game, and that's it. That's your whole punishment. Oh, and you lose some jewels that you picked up.
Yeah, I've been playing through it. I guess I've just been doing good so far. I've only played the first, 3 stages, but I haven't died yet. I didn't realize you just immediately come back.
Yeah, no, that was one of the first things I did in the game, I'm sure. It's a pretty sweet little game. Have you been playing with your wife? It's a good, it's a fun co-op game.
Not yet, no. I didn't even know it was co-op.
Yeah. One person plays as Kirby and the other plays as Prince Fluff, who
that guy.
Trivia was supposed to be the main character of the game before Nintendo decided that it was a Kirby game instead.
Ah.
That's why it doesn't play anything at all like a Kirby game. It's because it's not actually supposed to be a Kirby game.